Alright, hey everybody, I'm back working on the Mustang today. It's about 50 degrees here in Connecticut, and it's January, so it's a really warm day, and I figured it's a good day to get some primer on the roof of the car. So what I'm about to do is mix up some epoxy primer. I got an HVLP gun that I can use with the compressor, and we're going to spray a little paint on the roof now since we've been working on it with the body filler and all the sanding we've been doing. It's really nice, and I want to protect that. I was talking to the boys down at the paint store, and what they told me was, since I'm not going to paint the car immediately, and I'm going to have this roof sitting, kind of open for a while, it would be better if I used an epoxy primer, since that's like a sealer almost, as opposed to a regular primer. They said that's hygroscopic. It'll absorb water, and if we're going to leave it open for 4 or 5 months, that wouldn't be the best thing. So I'm going to put some epoxy primer on the roof. We'll have to scuff it later to keep going, but for the time being it'll protect it as best as we can. So let's get the paint mixed up and get it on there. This is what I'm going to use. It's called Nason Full Epoxy 491-16. I don't know what any of that means, but that's what I got. So you have this, this is the paint or the primer, and then there's also another can, it pretty much looks identical to it, and it's the activator. So you have to mix the epoxy and you have to mix the primer and the activator 1 to 1. So you only need to use like half the amount of primer that you want, because then you're going to mix it with an activator. So I'm going to mix that up first, and then we'll test out the spray gun, get the pattern spraying right, and then we'll spray the roof. I just want to show you this. You have to stir this. It's really like thick in there. You have to mix it up really well. You can tell that this stuff is very heavy. I got the heater going. I'm blowing heat inside the car right now, and I'll turn that off before I start to paint. But I just wanted to show you how thick this stuff is. It's going to take a couple of minutes to stir it. I might even close it up and shake it for a few minutes and then stir it up. Alright, I've been shaking it and stirring it, mostly shaking it, because stirring is for the birds. Now I've got it so that it's really pretty good. It's mixed up really well now. See that? I don't feel any more like chunks or solid pieces in the paint. So now I'm getting ready to mix it. The activator is clear. You can see all the way to the bottom of the can. You don't have to shake it or do anything. It doesn't separate. I guess it's just one part. So from now on, I'm going to be wearing this respirator because this stuff smells really bad. So I'm not going to be able to talk much, but I'll keep showing you from time to time what I'm doing. I had a heater going, blasting inside the car. I'll give you a quick look at that. I just have my little shop heater in there. I got the car up above 65 degrees on the inside, so I'm going to leave that off while I paint. I might turn it on again before I start, just to heat up the underside of the roof, get it above 50 degrees. So now I'm going to go test my spray pattern, and then we'll squirt some paint on the roof. All right, so I'm done. Definitely I have too much paint coming out of the gun. You can see I got these big, huge runs. You know, I've never done this before, so I'm not surprised. But before it like dries, I just want you to see in the glare here. I don't know if you can see it, but man, that thing looks super smooth. It looks really nice. I'm talking about the body work. It's a bunch of paint runs, but that's got nothing to do with the sheet metal underneath. You know, I think what this shows me is that all of the time that we spent sanding and filling and sanding and filling, it really pays off. I mean, this thing looks good enough that, you know, you could just run this without a vinyl top. You know, I've actually been thinking about that a little bit, but we'll have to revisit that decision later. There's definitely a lot of runs in the paint. I definitely need to do a little bit more experimentation when it comes to setting up the paint gun. So I think I'm putting too much paint on. It's too heavy. I actually also learned that I'm better right-handed, even though I'm a left-handed person. I did better right-handed painting this big roof. So I'm going to remember that the next time. So I think what I'm going to do is before all these runs just dry, I'm going to get a rag and just kind of wipe all that down. You know, I can sand the roof a little bit later and get the runs off the roof. I'm not too worried about that. But all in all, it's pretty simple. I got to go clean the paint gun out now. I don't want to let that set up. This took about a cup and maybe a quarter. I put that much on here. That might be way too much. I don't know what's going on. And I also got like this, I don't want to get this string in here. It looks like a ring here. I'm not sure what's going on there. There might be some oil or grease or something underneath it. If anybody knows, just leave me some instructions or advice in the comments. I'd appreciate that. You know, any help I can get. But you definitely, if you've never done it before, you got to, you practice on your primer for sure. All right, well, that's it for the primer on the roof right now. All right, give me a rag. Let's see what we can do with cleaning off this run. I don't have to deal with this later on. It's already starting to dry. Take a little paint thinner on a rag here, see what that does. That doesn't really help much. Maybe a little bit. We're just, I'm going to have to sand all this off anyway. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Keep coming back, and we'll be working on the Mustang.